So look, welcome everyone to our fantastic pool masterminding. Hopefully you like the pool here, yeah? Something which has been coming up a lot this week is, money. How do we use money? How do we raise money? It's a subject that I love to talk about. I'm very good at it. I've done it for a long time now. I'm known in the industry as the money man. I can, raise money like relatively quickly. So I thought let's kick off the mastermind talking about, money and how to access it, because some of you want to raise money for your rent-to-rent relocation business and you want to get investors involved and, give them a really good return, but maybe you don't quite know what to say to them at the moment or how to really structure the deal or what the right type of contracts are that are needed. You've never raised money before, so there's some fear and anxiety around that level, and maybe you don't like the thought of rejection and what if people say no to you, and there's some fear around, well, what if I lose the person money? And when you've got this fear or these things which are concerning you, this is how you stay stuck. Because it's easier not to do it than it is to do it. That's the reality, right? It's easier for you to keep doing what you've always done, surviving, not thriving. It's to actually become business owners and run a proper business. Something which is scalable, something which adds massive value to other people. And one of the ways of scaling is, of course, using other people's money, right? Some of you want to start looking at development deals and you want to start using other people's money to go and buy property at some point. So it is a skill that can be mastered by anyone. And I truly believe that. Like if you really want to do something, like if you've got something in front of you and it's like, I really want to do this, this is what happens. The brain very easily says, oh, I can't do that. Or can't afford that, or I'm not sure about that. But what about this and what about that? And if you're not careful, you talk yourself out of making great decisions. But if you've got something in front of you that looks good, and let's just say it's an investor, for example, or a deal. Let's say it's a deal and it looks good and it's going to give you a great return on investment. You've just got to go for it and say, look, I'm doing it. I'll figure it out, I'll find a way. So, raising money is a skill. It's a skill that anyone can master. I believe anyone is here can do anything that we want to do if we put our minds to it, because you get what you focus on. So when you start to focus on working with investors, you'll typically find investors, because there's a lot of money out there. But what can happen for a lot of people is that they can have this like scarcity mindset around money. And maybe right now, maybe your business isn't doing too good, or maybe your units aren't quite where you want them, and perhaps you're not getting the cash flow that you want right now. And all of a sudden you can be scared about money and you don't think there's enough money. What's important is to have an abundant mindset. There's enough money out there for us all. Every single one of you can access it if you really want to do it. There's loads of ways in which you can access money for any type of deal that you want to do. And also when it comes to money, you've got to understand risk versus reward. When you're working with investors, of course there's an element of risk. Yeah, could the deal not quite, well maybe. But this is why you have mentors and this is why you dot the I's and cross the T's. When I'm raising money for a £9 million development deal out in Maidenhead, which has been going on, it's 26 units and we've got, 600 grand from private investors. Yeah, there's an element of risk, but you got to roll with the punches. You just got to go in for it, in for a penny, in for a pound. And look, you can't have the big rewards. Like raise your hand if you want big rewards, by the way, yeah? Yeah, you want to go big, you want more, you want a life of abundance, you want to have a great pension, you want to provide for your children, you want to travel the world. Well, then you've got to start thinking bigger than what you're thinking now, which means you have to take more risk, but it's calculated risk. I love to take risk on. I love to take debt on, as long as it's good debt, not bad debt. And there's a really big difference between good debt and bad debt. So what would we say, right, team? What would we say are some of your blocks or barriers or challenges when it comes to using other people's money? What's been holding you personally back?
I'm going to have an investor meeting where I'm going to invite investors for the first time. And these are people typically from the Bengali community in Luton who are typically Muslims. And one of the things that Muslims don't want to do is invest where interest is required, either paying it or receiving it. So what I want is to raise money to start up essays. Yep, they will pay for the initial deposit, the furniture setup, and also the first month's rent, as it were. We will use 50% of the profits mind, not income, to keep paying them back, and we should be paying them back within 6, 7, 8 months. After that, we then need to work on one of two deals. Either they stay for the life of the project, how long we have that property, or they stay for a limited, say, 3 years or something. And if they'll get, then once they've had all their money back, which is a relatively short time, 6, 7, 8 months, yeah, so there's no risk left for them, it'll be a case of they'll get 20% of the profit. If they want a longer return, it might be, okay, you're going to get 10% of the profit. So, for example, if it's an 8-9 year deal, you get 10%. If it's a 3-year deal, you get 20%. So my challenge is, what's the best way to put it to these guys to come up with the funds? It's not a lot of money. I'm looking at £6,000, £7,000, £8,000 per maximum per setup. Yeah.
Look, I think you've explained it really well there, to be fair. You've explained it really well. I would, that's all you can do, mate, is just present it to them. I wouldn't have an 8-9 year option. I'd have a 2-year or a 5-year. That's what I would do, yeah, because 8-9 years bit too long term. If you stay in for 2 years, you get this percentage. If you want to stay in for 5, or you just go with one option. You get all your money back, and then over 2 years you're able to get this type of percentage. But yeah, maybe go with 2 options is always good, because it's good. Then people will typically always go with one of the options. But you've worked hard on this. You've got your signature solution. For those of you that don't know, Hafiz is in Expert Speaker Academy, which is one of our speaker verticals, and it's really come on leaps and bounds. And I feel for this, look, it's your first one. And it's great, by the way. Hafiz is putting on his own event. He's inviting his local community. He's going to stand up on stage. He's going to speak one to many, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get some of them to invest in him £5,000, £6,000, £7,000. What you're looking to do there, Hafiz, is you're looking to just generate the lead. But you want, let's say there's 10 people that want to do it, then you must make sure before the event finishes, you either have a one-to-one with them at the event if there's a team of you, or you get Zooms booked in literally for the next day. Yeah, don't do it on, I'll call you, mate, because you know how hard it is to get hold of people. So this is a really important thing about raising money. You've got to make sure you nail people down with options, dates and times. Very, very, very important. Because if not, people just, they just disappear, and you can't get hold of them again for weeks and weeks, and then desire level ends, yeah? Give it up for Hafiz, everyone. That's awesome, yeah? Great. But I'm interested to hear from other people, what would be a block or a challenge or something that you're fearful of when it comes to, using other people's money, yeah?
We're all sitting here,
yeah,
talking about this, so the creativity could be within a whole team.
Okay, great. Okay, so you could go out to your team or your peers, whatever that looks like, and then look to get people in together, which I think is a great thing to say, and for sure. How else could you personally get creative to go and raise money?
Can I just go back a bit and say, I kind of share what these two have said. My thing is, if I see something, I get really excited about it inside. However, I don't know how to put it out. I run away with my mouth, if that makes sense. So,
You almost talk people out of it.
Well, exactly. That's what I probably do. That I guess comes with practice.
Time practice, yeah.
Yeah. As far as individually, I don't know. Just get really stuck into it, get really involved in it, deep dive in it, as you put it. Or,
Yeah, but how can we raise money? What are the ways, yeah? So you said one earlier, we can go to where the banks. Yeah, so we can go to the banks, can't we, yeah? And there's many ways in which you can get money from the banks. You can get credit cards, you can get interest-only credit cards, low-interest cards, you can get personal loans, you can get business loans. Believe in yourself no matter what, really important. If you want something, just go and do it. Find a way. Don't let fear, hesitation, doubt, anxiety, confusion get in your way. You gotta keep going, yeah? Think big, act big. Every single one of you is a really special person, and you can have whatever it is you wanna have. You just gotta keep pushing through.